justify all they dirt with the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
You
Everything.
But the Bible don't condone your dirt. It just told you if you got ready to get rid of doing your dirty deeds that you can be forgiven, but you can't be forgiven and keep doing the same dirt.
That part.
Ain't
And
no
then keep saying
forgiveness in that shit. You know what you doing. That's deliberate and willful malice.
mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely.
You know? And anybody can make a mistake.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Anybody can be fooled. Just don't be nobody damn fool. That's what my mama told me.
And keep on being fooled.
That's being a damn fool. And that's being a damn fool right there. The person keep running the same game on you thinking, and don't never change that game.
That game.
Yeah. That means that you either like the game they running on you and you with it, or you so goddamn dumb that you don't know you ain't with it.
And you can't play victim, though. That's another thing. I can't stand people that have had the same game run on them. They continuously do the same thing and deal with the same people that run the game, and then want to play victim every time and expect people to console them through their victimization when you've already been this victim 1,000 times.
That's because they're looking for trauma mates. They're looking for trauma mates. Somebody to say, oh, that's so bad that they so bad to you.
And then if you stop doing it, all of a sudden you the enemy.
Yeah, then you just like you catch the person in the lie and they be madder at you than you is, and you the one caught them lying to you. Why you madder than me? You ain't supposed to be madder than me. I'm the one got lied to.
Yeah, you hear me?
The professional liar got his ego hurt.
That post that you made, what was that? Like a couple days ago. You said say it again. You said, I don't know, it hit home. And I said, ain't that some shit?
Oh, yeah, that's the one I posted. It say, tell me why people that be on bullshit.
Yes.
Think you on bullshit when you don't entertain they bullshit. Now that's some bullshit.
That's some real shit.
No shit. That's some bullshit. No shit.
That shit was realer than real. Cause I was
then
like,
you got the other ones, the ones I call hater hustlers. Where they go around and try to convince people to hate you, and people don't even know who the hell you is yet.
Gosh, I've had so many. I've had that happen so much. People be like, I've even had people say, because I'll like notice people, like it's only certain people that I've noticed that like unfollow me or was not my friend anymore, and they've been my friends forever. And I'm like, damn, I ain't heard from this person in a while, or they post to come up where they tag me in it, and then I'll look and they're not my friends no more. So I like inbox them personally, and like I said, it's only happened a couple times because I don't notice most people that unfriend me, but like and I'll be like, hey, did I do something to you? Like, what's going on? And then they'll be like, oh, such and such said to watch out for you and this and that. And I'm like, so I didn't do anything to you personally. It was somebody else that told you something about me that made you not fuck with me no more. Like, I'm confused. Because you know how many people that came at me to try to get me not to fuck with you and talk to you. And can't nobody make me not talk to Rod or fuck with Rod ever in life. I'm just gonna let y'all know this.
The campaigns have been thick.
Man, it ain't never gonna happen.
Look, if some of them campaigns would have been helping Kamala, she probably would have won.
I promise you, they should have campaigned for her. Because they be campaigning against you and me.
Yeah, I'd be like, damn. My thing is, my whole, if people pay attention, my whole thing is this. I found out what's going on the land. I found out who was doing all the dirt. I found out where they was hiding at. And I'm showing y'all step by step who did it, how they did it, where they did it at, who was involved. And the crazy thing about it is people tell me that my answer not right. And then I'll say, well, what's the right answer? And they'll tell me they don't know.
So why they come for you?
Like, wait a minute. My answer not right and you don't even have an answer? That's bullshit.
Yeah, but
they look, This person is telling me that I don't know what I'm talking about. My answer not right, but they don't even have an answer to begin with. How can you tell me my answer not right when you don't even have one?
Somebody said how we get our land.
It's coming. It's
You
coming.
got to be patient.
But you know a lot of people be asking that. But my thing be this is we get all this land back, all this land, North, Central, South America, the islands. None of these niggas gonna want to do the work on the land required to do the maintenance to the land.
Can I say something on that, to top that, just to
Mm-hmm.
give you some confirmation on top of that? There's 10 acres of land that I've told people about, and all we got to do is come together and be like, well, obviously I'm still part of the land, but all we got to do is come together. We can build some homesteads on it, everything. I did that for about 3 years, speaking publicly on live streams about who wants to be involved to like grow food on that land, to grow, like build on homesteads, everything. Let me tell you something about our people. They talk, but they don't back it up a lot of the times. So with that being said, it's like, I don't feel like for a lot of us that y'all ready for the universe even making that come for you. You know what I mean? So a lot of y'all ain't gonna be seeing no land regardless. And I'm not trying to be funny, but I'm saying because you're not ready for it. So
Yeah.
even when it does come available, some of y'all still ain't gonna be able to grasp it because you're not in the position to be able to build, create, and do the things you need to in order to make it
Even
happen.
if they ain't in the position, we had a resource to facilitate them to get in the position. The problem
Mm-hmm.
is don't nobody want to work no farm. Farm
Yeah.
work is farm work and factory work. Nobody want to do that, especially when they believe they came from slaves. That was family businesses that was stolen through sharecropping agreement.
Mm-hmm.
Whole families was being taken care of from one farm. Multiple
Mm-hmm.
families.
Yep. That's where I come from. I come from that.
You know, I was staying with my auntie when I was on the run in Mississippi, and around this time of year, some of the big mamas down there start putting together family baskets of canned goods. She be cooking and canning all day for weeks. But when she get done, she got family members coming from St. Louis, Chicago, New
I can
York,
believe
from
it.
Virginia.
Absolutely.
They all coming down there, and they getting these big supply things that Big Mama's not doing that no more.
Mm-hmm.
The people today are too lazy to do
To
the
do
kind
the
of
work.
work required
Yep.
to
That's facts.
and the hard part gonna be staffing the farm. You know we gonna have more pale faces ready to come help us on the farms than we is
I
us.
can believe that.
Because we don't want that heavy, that get up early in the morning on the farm type work. We don't want that shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what we want? We want to buy a Fendi and Prada and fly around the
Instant,
world, and
instant gratification. Instant gratification.
that's all we want to
Yep.
do. Give Fendi, Prada, and fly around the world, and them living half the hog. But where the money gonna come from, and
Yep.
nobody don't think about that part. Who gonna finance your escapades around the world, right? Because you're gonna have a family banking committee, and if that shit don't make sense to them, they not finna give you the money to finance no
Oh,
$250,000 trip. You know what I'm saying? Because you want to charter a plane to take 500 of your closest friends that you just met yesterday to a trip to the Bahamas. They not finna do that.
mm-mm.
Your family banking committee gonna be competent people that understand the money mechanics, and they
And
not gonna
another
just
thing a lot of our people don't understand is bartering. Bartering was a big thing, a big factor.
yeah.
Somebody hit me up on one of my businesses and was like, "Oh, sister, I sell soaps and I do this, this, and that." And I'm like, "Are you willing to barter? Because while you underneath my post and I'm selling things, items that you see me selling, do you want this item and we can switch? Because that's still us selling. I'm getting a product from you and you're getting a product from me. that's bartering. That's, I'm getting something, because even if I was to send you the money, it'd be the same thing. You know, we need to learn how to do that. I grew up in that. I grew
That's
up
what.
in.
That's following the law of equivalent exchange, right? I got a 3 skin dressed rabbits for dinner, and you got 20 coins a year. We can make a trade, right? And but people be looking at, oh, he giving me 20 ears of corn for 3 rabbits. I think that's not enough corn. Well, okay. Well, how did you adjust the price of your
Right.
rabbit?
You don't know the price of this. I do.
Right. So it might turn out that 4 rabbits is worth 20 ears of corn. Right. But now, because you went to trying to be selfish, you realize you was the one that was getting that was underpaying the other person because you was greedy.
Yep.
You know, you should have took what they offered you and gave them what they asked for. Now you got to come off a whole nother rabbit for being greedy.
Yep.
But we don't see stuff like that no more. Modern microwave society got us wanting everything in an instant.
A quick fix. And that's why a lot of these, I was talking to my son, now that we're on this subject, it's kind of going to go like off of that, but he like literally is like this influencer. Like he made it to the social media influencer. And I was telling him about like the game, you know, and I was like, they're going to come to you eventually when you get enough followings because they know of your influence. They're going to come to you and offer you a contract, and it's going to be a certain amount of money, but you can still do it independently, but they're going to want to sign you to sign a contract so that they can own you to control your influence. But you can still do it independently. But what's going to happen is you're going to get so comfortable with the money you made by yourself, they're going to try to double and triple it with a contract, and they're going to want you to sign it.
And they always gonna give you something to do for their money.
Yeah, absolutely. And so I was telling him that, and he's like, no, I'm not going to. I'm like, I want you to know it's going to happen. And when it happens, if you sign it, it's going to be, it's literally going to be something that you're not going to want to do. I'm just going to guarantee you on that.
My mama used to sit me under these old ladies talking about the South and the church, right? When I was a little boy, 3, 4, 5, 6 years old. So I used to be listening to them telling how people was losing stuff by signing contracts, because I never understood why all the old people that were around while I was growing up, they wouldn't do no contracts. They wouldn't do no credit cards because they had a contract.
Nothing.
Yeah. So when I got older, now I know what I know. I'm like, damn, they were smart. They were smart as hell to be illiterate. They do not sign them contracts because they all say it was making a deal with the devil. And what do you mean? I had old pale faces tell me I understand when I was staying in Grand Rapids. And they used to buy something like a car, and they'd be like, I need to save up $2 more thousand to go get this car. And I'd be like, why you just didn't get a note? And they'd be like, I'm not signing no deals with the devil.
Yeah.
I didn't know what they was talking about. But they all used to say that, all these old people, when I'm talking about when I was, this was like in the 75, 76, 77. And when that Spirit of 76 came out, I learned so much about the American deception of history from old people that was telling me that shit ain't what they telling you, son.
Lying to you and just trying to dance some over your head to make it sound good.
I ain't know that that was the end of the original contract to the blood sacrifice of Crispus Attucks. It was a 200-year contract. But when I figured that part out, that let me know how they got the extension that Elijah Muhammad was talking about when he said the devil got an extension because somebody took him to war. And then I go back to the war 1812, 2012, Higgs boson, close of the age, Mayan calendar, close of the age, discovery of the God particle the next day, the new beginning, right? So I'm like, what the this is timed perfectly. So either it's a script that we following, well, this is some of the coldest prophetic shit I've ever seen in my life. I believe it's a script.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Somebody said if you don't have, they daddy told them if they don't have cash, you don't need it. And I can believe it, because even if you sign a contract and then you pay it off, they're still going to find some type of small print where you still owe them. It's like you literally sign your life away on most of these contracts.
Well, in the case of a car note, right, when you saying for the car note, they already got paid from the Federal Reserve. Now they making you pay for the car again from your Federal Reserve notes. Once your car paid off, guess what? You ain't done, because you still got to keep your insurance up and you still got to keep your registration current.
And
if your car's sitting on the street and your registration ain't current, they take
it. Yep.
It's all set up.
Yep.
But I'll be looking at the way people are, and I'll be like, some of this stuff, even though it's oppressive, like if the government didn't do stuff like that, tow cars, it'd be all kind of junk cars on the side of the street.
He said I'll be looking at it a different way.
Mm-hmm. There'd be all kind of junk cars. I'll be like, because I don't like for people to use their strength, power, and authority to take from people that can't defend themselves. Meaning anybody that doesn't have equal strength, power, and authority, right? The average president, if he had to fist fight for his country, this country is in trouble. Because he'll stand up there and talk that shit, but when it comes time to knuckling up, ain't none of these motherfucking world leaders today about to go. If they had to, okay, we not sending our kids to war. You gonna fight, motherfucker? No, I ain't gonna be nowhere. We not sending our babies to war. Right? Joe Biden, if you can't take your whole crippled, decrepit, dimension, zombie ass over there and fight Putin, don't talk about sending us to war over there. Putin will fight his ass. He ain't regular. He'll fight his ass.
Okay. Period.
Putin to roll his sleeves up and be like, what do you want to do? In Russian. He from that way. Like if he was over here in America, I swear he'd be chocolate colored from the hood.
I promise you, because he don't give a fuck.
You can't be no more from the gutter than Vlad.
I guarantee you, he don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Did you see that video I had posted where the girl wrote a letter to him? And she was like, we don't have anything to do with them. They don't even like us. Like, please excuse the bombs that they let off. We did not approve that. It was a black girl. I was weak.
Before the shit
I was cracking up.
Look, but before the shit get too out of hand, Danny gonna call Russia. You remember that song by Prince?
Wait. What song?
Ronnie talked to Russia, for it's too late. For it's too late. For it's too late. Ronnie talked to Russia, for it's too late. Before they blow up the world.
What? I didn't know about that song.
Yeah, Ronnie talked to Russia. That's when Reagan was in trouble. Now we got Donnie.
Okay.
We got Donnie J.
They say so they be comparing Ronnie and Donnie.
Yeah, so now we saying Donnie talked to Russia. Donnie talked to Russia, for it's too late. You know that movie Howard the Duck was telling us about Donald Trump coming, right?
Who?
Howard the Duck.
Oh, okay. I remember that. That was when I was young, though.
Yeah. And so Donald the Duck is part of the program.
Okay.
But Howard Duck is not part of the program. He's the deviation from the role as Donald.
I remember that because Howard was before the new age, like Donald Duck. Yeah. I do remember that when I was younger.
Right. Just like Clinton was the Wag the Dog. There was a movie called Wag the Dog.
Yeah.
Where the president got caught up in the scandal and then he declared war so he can cover up the scandal.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was the little Monica Lewinsky scandal when he did Operation Desert Fox, trying to cover it up. They tell us all this shit in the movies, but they put it in satire and entertainment, and we don't know it's related.
Yeah, they always put in that stuff. A lot of people. Okay, how do you feel about, now that we're talking about like the cartoons and stuff? How do you feel about, look, now you're on the interview. Sorry, it didn't turn out. I didn't mean for it to turn out this way, but
Go ahead,
go
girl. Look, we okay. Hold on before you go. Welcome to this episode of Drea Talk with Drea, and we're gonna give y'all some real talk with the Chief Rod Hayes. Let's go, Drea. Let's
Because I'm
let's let's
asking
turn it up.
questions y'all be wanting to ask. Okay. So how do you feel about The Simpsons and how people say that they automatically like predict stuff that's happening? I just want your opinion. I have my thoughts, but I
The
want your opinion.
Simpsons is a CIA propaganda model. Kind of all of the episodes of The Simpsons is written by Central Intelligence agent operatives in the entertainment field. They got a staff of writers. It's not one writer. Operation Looking Glass is a predictive program, computer program, and it can show them certain stuff for the future.
Mm-hmm.
So using Operation Looking Glass, they turn it into a parody, and sometimes that should be spooky accurate.
Mm.
But it's not just The Simpsons. Now a lot of stuff is in Family Guy,
Yeah.
The Boondocks, right? That's because Hollywood was infiltrated back in the 50s by the CIA.
Okay.
And almost everything is some kind of problem. When you're watching the movie, it's not the movie you're watching. The question is, why would they allow me to see this particular piece of theater? What is they trying to get past me? Because in every movie, there is what does they call intelligence codes. Whether it's a can of Coke sitting on the counter, it means something.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's a lady pouring a box of salt into the dinner, it means
Mm-hmm.
something. And when you are agent, you learn to read from the show assigned to you, have all your instructions in it, so that they don't have to come and see you face to face when you are cut out to give you instructions. Now they could put it in a public platform wherever you go, you could access it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's how they activating Manchurian candidates remotely now. The Jason Bourne story was going into it, but it didn't get all the way to the root. There's always one sleeper agent that can activate every sleeper agent once he's activated. Soon as he activates, the side effect of activating him is all of the rest of the agents is activated. This is what made Jason Bourne being the first functional operative under the Treadstone program, and I forgot the other one, but this is what made him so valuable to the agency, because when you watch through the seasons, you realize that he was the agent that if he's not neutralized, he's activating other agents by being activated.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And now they trying to activate different agents to silence him, which is activating other agents to silence them. Right? So you have the one, they call him the golden child in the intelligence world.
Mm-hmm.
The golden child is the operative that once he's activated, all of the Manchurian candidates, sleeper cells become activated. That's what the movie was about. That's why him failing his mission was so critical for them to try to get him back to determine how did he malfunction. He never malfunctioned, right?
Mm-hmm.
He fell into a state of amnesia from being lost at sea. Let that sink in for a minute.
Mm.
He was in a state of amnesia from being lost at sea. We are all classified as vessels lost at
Let's
sea.
see. Yeah.
And now that he's on the land, he's trying to remember who he is, the George Washington Challenge. In 200 years, they won't remember what side of the ocean they from, right? Tom Clancy is a former special forces agent. Everything he writes has to be edited through the Pentagon before he can release it. Because in all of his stories, he's using the information from being in an actual situation that he turned into a fictitious novel, and he can accidentally give out too much real information where you can actually pull up the government operation that he's talking about in his books. And now you got some people that's Tom Clancy fans that's so good that they can tell you which one of his books took place where in during his tenure as a military asset. And it's another one, the one for the legal world is the one Tom Grisham. Right? Tom Grisham is an attorney, right? But he's some kind of way he's trained in like intelligence gathering because his books tell you so many secrets from the legal field, right? And then for the medical field, my favorite is Robin Cook, right?
Why you say Robin Cook?
Mainly because of this book called Mutation, where he talked about enhancing the intelligence of the children by using special deep sea organisms and being injected into the fetus. And he created a child genius. But the book's called Mutation. It's a cold piece of work. But then I was already, the movie Coma made me read the book. And then I was just, because I liked the medical field anyway.
Yeah.
So when I started reading his books, I was captivated by the description of walking the corridors of a hospital, you know, smelling the disinfectant and the bandages that's stocked up in the cabinet as you walk down the hallway. Stuff like that I can relate to. When I was a
on a
little baby, I had
podcast or on the
epilepsy
show for
real
the first
bad.
time ever. This
So I
is
used to
history
live
to
in the
make it.
hospital.
Without further ado, to start the show, ladies and gentlemen, I want to
Yeah,
welcome
so
Seven
they tried
Bowball.
to
I
put
want
me
to
in a
welcome
cage because
Rod
I'd be
Hayes
anywhere in
to
the
the show. Oh man, you gotta have fun with this consciousness thing.
Absolutely.
Welcome, yo, it's a pleasure. Honestly, seriously though, it's a pleasure and it's an honor to have both of y'all here together at the same time. What's going on, gentlemen?
You know, you the first one to bring us together. And the first time I heard about him, I heard about him through Arisha Stone, which is the blood heir to Duddy Bookman. And he was like, man, you ain't heard of Seven Beaumont? I was like, no, it's about a couple years ago. He said, man, you got to go check out Seven Beaumont. I said, I'm going to go check him out, see what he's talking about. And I was, been on to him since then, and he be dropping some fire.
Indeed.
Yeah. And like you say, he got the crispiest videos on the internet.
His brother, this is why, hold up, before you say something, and I'm going to share the brother's links. I need everybody, like, the white folks got their technology and they got their Mark Zuckerbergs and they got the dude that's ahead of OpenAI and they got dumb dudes. Like, we got Seven Beaumont on our end. So I really want, as I share the links tonight, and I'm going to ask the AI question and things of that nature, but I really want y'all to put this brother not just as a metaphysical speaker, but this guy is amazing when it comes to technology, AI, all that stuff. I really want y'all to get used to this brother and look at him through that lens. I'm gonna share the links. But with that being said, we'll talk about that a little later. Seven, Rod, welcome. What's up, Seven?
Well, first of all, I was already saying to everybody, I need to figure out where all the language is stored.
Yeah.
Because I'm so excited for this evening. Like, the energy was so high. It's always like that. There's no feeling, when, it's about to be big and you're right in the beginning of it, right? And for sure, you know, I don't think you can really be in this space without knowing who Rod is. Like I'm a fan from the early videos. You know, like you could tell when there's that Gnosticism where somebody is really just tapped in and just going to give it to you as it is. And we can always respect that. And also, you know, it's that time, you know, we're rolling into 2025. You know, we need to really be bundling up well together because we're building something. It's already built, right? And it's getting bigger. And, you know, we want to make sure that everybody is maintained and managed, growing. You know, everybody's different. So each person is a unique key to a unique door. And, you know, it's these type of way showers here that are bringing in them potent, you know, masters for masters, I call it. You know, we all gain something from each other and add that to that collective that we have on this side. But on the other side, we all dialed in anyway because we're all the same thing. And that's just the beauty of, you know, how synchronicity works. So I'm honored to be here. You know, I'm always going to come in doing my best, looking forward to moving me out the way. You know, I just know it's going to be lit. So however long it takes, I know people are excited. You know, they love to see us coming together too. So I'm feeling the energy, like I said. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Brother Rich, you glowing over there, by the way. I want you to know that your inner light is on. That between your wife and the new baby, you glowing.
The new baby. I got a new baby, y'all. I got a new baby. So listen, and I'm glad you mentioned that because that's gonna lead. We gonna get this thing. We gonna start running fast breaks immediately during this show, y'all. We ain't gonna waste no time getting right into it. Rod talked about I just had a new baby. I just had a daughter, right? So check this out. This show we're talking about, it's called the Holy Costume. We got this costume that we're wearing. It's not really who we are, but we're wearing it, and we're pretending to be something, and we're experiencing this realm or whatever. A lot of general questions about spirituality and ancient history. We're gonna start out because Rod mentioned my daughter. We're gonna start out like this, gentlemen. So there's a lot of times when, let's say, I'm gonna use Michael Jackson for an example. We'll see Michael Jackson, and then we'll see a picture of a pharaoh, and we'll be like, "Yo, Mike, look just like that pharaoh. What the hell?" I mean, the nose, everything, the face, the hair, it might just look just like, and everybody knows what image pretty much I'm talking about because it's all over the internet. But there's countless examples. We may see somebody in Brazil. As a matter of fact, the dude from American Rock, they say, "Yo, Seven look just like that nigga. Oh my God, he looked just like Omar." Then we may see Rod, and we may see somebody in, let's say Brazil or Africa, South Africa. Be like, "Yo, is that Rod Hayes? Oh, that got to be Rod Hayes." So we're always seeing people who look just like somebody else. So saying that to say this, my daughter came out looking like my mother, and it was spooky. I was like, "Oh shit!" Like how she looked like my mother. Like it was like, because my girl is dark skinned, but my mother's light skinned with green eyes. My daughter came out light skinned with green eyes. I'm like, how the hell did my girl produce this baby? But so with that being said, we compare life to a video game. In a video game, a lot of times you have a certain amount of characters you could pick from to play from that video game. So I want to ask y'all, in this game we call life, is there a certain amount of characters that we could pick from? And this is why Seven looks like him, my daughter looks like her, Rod looks like him, I look like him, because there's only a limited amount of characters that we could pick from. So occasionally there's going to be a character that reappears throughout history. It looks like time travel, but it's really not. But it's just that we can only pick a selected amount of characters in this game we call life.
I'm gonna let Seven go first.
And you know that one right there, that could be the whole show right there.
Oh man!
Because look, let me just drive over it, and then Rod is gonna come in and ride through it, and then we'll see where we get to. So right away, I'm thinking we're gonna go high level occult right away, and then we'll make it back to the surface later on, right? So we know for sure in even disturbed, disease, whatever, and then they will have to work on that child spiritually. So it lets us really see that for sure all of the archetypes themselves are, we could say, quote unquote, in the stars. And then the manifestations of the main characters coming here are really just an act of the genetics and actually we'll say like soul genetics, who's mixing together to actually create this new path that this being is going to walk down, right? So you're on the journey. You ain't alone, obviously, because you're coming with the DNA. Like I have the same thing with my daughter. She's got the red hair. It's almost like blonde hair, like my father's. I didn't get it. So it's skip a generation and then come out the next generation over, right?
Gotcha.
So yeah, I you know, I'm not trying to hog this up though today, man. I just, you know, I wanted to drop mine in.
Indeed, no, we gonna keep it flowing. No, indeed, my brother. Go ahead, Rod.
So I'm glad he brought up the sequences of DNA, and he connected it to the certain amount of energies and how the women used to line up the birth of the child to the alignment of the stars. That's all what you call esoteric, mostly hermetic doctrine of information, because hermetics primarily deal with genetics. In the genome, it's like a long radio station or radio receiver. Like you got a whole bunch of channels, right? But in order to get to the channel you want, you have to know how to align the DNA. The alignment comes in through aligning it with a zodiacal constellation. So this is the origin of the zodiac. The women figured out a long time ago, before they made men, that if a woman or a man, back then it was just a masculine energy or feminine energy came in at a certain time based on the winter solstice, summer solstice, and the two equinoxes. You know when they coming in, and you know what energies you are channeling, right? So you hear him say that the prayers of the mother is answered through the womb. Well, what was your mama praying for when she was gestating you? Because she was programming your DNA. Because they told her she was praying for an outcome in life, they didn't tell her that when you have a child growing in you and you continuously pray or be in a high stated negative emotion, either way, which is ultimate calm or ultimate chaos, that's going to mold your child. Okay. This is part of the sciences that we teach the doulas about when they instructing the mothers to give them back this information that we talking about. So what the mother is doing by bloodline is they literally dialing in the sequence on the genome. And this is when you start getting, it's only so many facial structures. It's 7 specific or key or root facial structures. So it's 7 to the 7th power of 7, right? Which is a 777 genome materialization, which means that it's each one of them 7s have 7 options to the 7th power of expression, right? So now if people are constantly being born, dying, you recycling or opening up frequency stations. The frequency stations is calibrated from a
say who else better to get to explain this concept of the wearing the wolves, because it ties into everything we've been putting out, everything Rob been saying about the black hand, you know, the origin of the vampires and how they came over here and pretty much sucked our you know, our blood, our life form. So everything, all this is gonna tie in together with the wearing the wolves. Now, that Rod, the first question we got for you to start it off, we're gonna take questions from the audience too, because it's gonna be an interesting topic right here. And you know how Rod is the is this Rod Hayes versus the computer. You know what I'm saying? That boy Rod is a walking computer. I'm telling you, boy, that boy got books I ain't never heard of in his head. Right? So look, check this out, Rod. This is what we want to ask you, man, because everybody was thinking, because they gave us the concept of the vampires versus the Larkins. It's what they referred to them as. And it was like they said it was a war between those two. But we was under the impression that this wolf concept was actually wolves, but it actually was the natives on this land fighting against the conquistadors and other guys who were considered like vampires, bloodsuckers, taking off our land. So could you go into the first opening concept on
why they started wearing these wolves and foxes. I saw different other tribal headdress too that goes with the animal headdress. Could you go into that a little bit? Hey, Rod, we can't hear you, Rod. You mute. Hey, unmute. Yeah, unmute it. There you go, right there.
It's mutual energy exchange, right? In the cultures, different cultures, we dress like our totem animal. We use their skins in rituals, right? I mean, like the buffalo lodge, they make fun of them on the Flintstones. The buffalo lodge would wear buffalo pelts among the buffalo, right? They walk in the herd of them with the pelt on, and none of the buffalo would even, because they was familiar with them, right? And this is what was part of the catalyst for the buffalo hunts. The settlers believed in their legends that when they would be riding across the buffalo plains, that at nighttime the buffaloes turned into native warriors of a huge stature, right? This is the origin of your term skinwalker. In the Battle of Belle Isle with Chief Pontiac, they say he was assisted by some 7-foot tall wolf-like creatures that emerged from the darkness on the back of the island. Okay, now we know warfare now, but we don't know warfare back then, right? We see missiles and bombs flying across the sky on war reports, right? We was using nature as our camouflage. So the settlers didn't know the terrain. So they running into what they begin to term the skinwalkers and the werewolves. The werewolves come out of the deep south in Louisiana territory, right? This is the old Mississippian wolf clan. When they dress up like the wolf, they finna go on a hunt, or in this case, they was going to war. And they had their outfits was made out of wolf pelts. You could still see replicas. You got any pictures you could show them what we talk about, Elder?
One I'm on the one I'm on the front cover, but I can pull them
on
up
the flyer.
Yeah, on the flyer.
Pull the flyer up.
Okay, hold on just a second. Let me try to do that. Yeah, so it's like hold on just a second. Yeah, but so these guys, you said the guy, what tribe, what the Native Americans down south started wearing the headdress, the wolf headdress.
The wolf clan, the ones that they start calling the werewolves.
Right.
Right? Because when you look at it, it's they wear wolves as clothes.
Yeah, that's right.
And the word became fused into one word is where they tell you the story in Twilight. In Twilight, you see that the ones that came from Europe, those are the vampires.
Yeah.
It was at a land and they turn into wolves. Right? That's just the legend. Yep.
Let me put blow one up. Here we go. Like
that's a good one.
Like this right here. Yeah.
Okay, now they catch some of them in warfare and kill them, take their wolf pelts off. And when they go back to tell them what they look like, they remember these is dirty Moors we talking about. Blood sucking Jews. So they telling their brethren from their vampire club that they look like kin. And lichen became the reference to those ones with the dark skin and woolly hair that was the ones that wear the wolves, right? To distinguish them from the lighter tribes like these who had the similar practice. Some of them was the Coyote tribe, the Fox clan, right? Those tribes that use the fox as the totem, the gopher as the totem, and the groundhog, they all was mining families. Them was they tribal symbol. The trappers used to use the beaver as their symbol. When you look on some of the old seals from around Michigan, Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, Wisconsin, you see a lot of beaver and otter, not otter, beaver and muskrat symbols on the old stuff. That was because those was the tribes that was trading in that, and that was their totem. Remember, they came over for fur. Before they ever discovered gold, they came for fur.
So it's similar to like the feathers, barnet, wall barnet, but this right here, just a certain tribe that wore the wolf on their head.
Right. Now this tribe might be